Hey guys, welcome to Approach to Nerd. It is Maria Park, ATN, and I got one of my co-hosts with me. You know him as Jett Groove, and we are here to talk about the first episode in the Marvel What If series. I like calling it Captain Carter, but basically is what if Peggy Carter was the very first Avenger? And
It's,
yeah,
it's better than, and I may get hate for that. I don't care. It's better than Steve Rogers being
oh,
Captain America.
absolutely,
I
this
don't.
is
I don't
light
care
years
how you
better.
slice it. I also I want to point this out. It was really dope how they gave her a sword and a shield. It's very British. They turned her to a knight at the very end of it.
What you know was so funny to me because I'm a big Psylocke Quantum. Well, I'm a Quantum fan, but you have to know about Psylocke's backstory, and you know about the Braddock family.
She did a
How
whole
Merlin.
video on that, guy. She
I
go
got
back
a
to the
whole
early
video
videos
on
and
it if
watch
you
it.
haven't seen it. But how Merlin gives him a choice between an amulet and then the sword. And
Mhm.
when I was seeing Peggy in her uniform, and I thought about Brian, and at one point, even now, I know right now, Elizabeth Braddock or Betsy Braddock is Captain Britain,
Yeah,
but before that, back in the day when the UK still ran the whole Captain Britain storyline, she was Captain Britain then too. And I
yeah,
kept thinking to myself, "Oh, are they reinventing the wheel here?" I was like, "But that's going to be weird because technically speaking, Captain Britain is more of an X-Men,
yeah,
Excalibur type situation. We don't
yeah.
have this in MCU Avenger situation, even though I know they've had missions where they all had to intermingle. But when I saw that, I was like, what if not only not only is Agent Carter Captain Carter, she's also Captain Britain. And I'm like,
I,
I haven't looked at any other reviews, so I don't know if anybody else came to this conclusion, but I sure as hell
I
was
would,
thinking
I
that.
would, I would, I would tell you this. We were talking about that this morning. Like, why didn't you call Captain Britain? We know the Captain Britain already. I think it's because this is my honest opinion. This is what they're probably going to go with as far as like plot wise is concerned. Yeah, remember, it's like this World War II. Women didn't have that kind of rank in anything. Captain
Sure.
America was supposed to be their poster boy. They marketed Steve Rogers as Captain America, as this American science and this American soldier to win this American war. That's how they marketed it. They didn't want anybody, they didn't want her to be on the battlefield in the first place. They were like, no, women should be serving tea and shutting up and nothing else.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why they go with Captain Carter because they didn't give her that moniker in the first place. She just wanted for her the whole victory was I have a title. Like I'm now captain. I'm above you, as a matter of fact. So you do what I tell you to do. So I think that's probably why I didn't call her Captain Britain or Captain anything, any country, because she just wasn't given that brand name, so to speak.
And
That's
she,
my personal
also,
opinion.
yeah, I think that might have something to do with it. I also think the fact that technically we still have a Captain Britain and it's still within the Marvel umbrella. So having her as Captain Britain and then also having Brian Braddock, it wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah, they
Even
also
though,
have them.
even though technically at that point, I guess that period of time he wouldn't have been alive, but you know what I'm
No,
saying. And
not
plus,
yet. He
they're in
hasn't
the
been born yet.
UK, so yeah, they're primarily in the UK at the beginning. They didn't cross over until
Yeah,
the X-Men, Excalibur, stuff. So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. I thought that was really interesting because every time I looked at that uniform, I was like, huh, like, what kind of powers you got? But
it's what I do like is how much stronger Captain Carter is than Captain America, and it makes perfect sense. I was watching, I was like, she is flipping those cars like it is no big deal. I was like, wait a minute, stop. Peggy Carter by herself is physically stronger than Steve Rogers, so it
you
would
know what
make
I thought was
sense.
funny? I thought you were going to be in your feelings about because having watched the He-Man review you did for the channel. I'm like, I wonder if you're having a Tila flashback right now when you saw
You
how
know,
she
you know
was.
what though? That's a fair assumption to make, but this is my thing. All right, even though she became taller and with more muscle structure, she's still like a natural human being. Tila does not look like a natural human being. She swear to God, it's like she bench presses like monster trucks. Like, why are you so huge? And it's coming from, like I said, I'm a big guy, and I'm looking at this. Even when I saw the little like in Netflix little screenshots, I'm like, why is she so big? And then I saw He-Man, I was like, why is He-Man so huge? Like, I agree he's supposed to be strong, but he has to be functional. He looks so big, he kept scratching his own ass. Like,
This
anyway,
is true. I guess her taking the super serum in this, she didn't get as what did you say plant eating or planet eating
yeah,
size that He-Man was.
she didn't.
They're
No,
ingesting planets.
she cannot high five planet. She is not celestial in form. It's man, I don't know, but
Well,
it reminds me of Fable. Like on Fable 2, if you ever play Fable 2, when
yeah.
you get better, like you get better accuracy and stuff, the character gets taller, they get stronger attacks, they get a little bit bigger, but they're never just way out of range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, I was not in my feelings. Actually, I highly enjoyed. I'd rather they did Captain Carter than Captain America, to be
I
honest.
think the storyline is, for me, the storyline as a whole was better. But okay, I'm gonna tell you, we'll get to that. I'm gonna tell you the one thing I wish they had gone through, but they didn't do it because I really feel like it was a missed opportunity. But we'll get to that in a second. So, how she ended up getting the serum was interesting. Like, first of all, the dumbass with the lighter. I was like, what? Why do you let these people in these labs? Don't you screen people for intelligence? You need to have people that are like, I don't care how high up they are in the hierarchy. You need to have an intelligence check at the door.
Yes.
Like, are you stupid? Are you going to do things to endanger this experiment? If so, leave your butt at the end of the line outside the door. No entry. Like, I was like, like, wow, you dumb. And then, and of course, Steve gets shot, so he's not able to get into, you know, the machine to get the serum. And of course, like they're like, we're running out of time. Everybody's panicking. Stark, get in the machine. And Stark's like,
Stark.
No,
Stark was like, no. I am.
No.
Stark is like, I am the doctor. I'm not the companion. I don't.
Yep.
Keep the machine.
I keep the ship afloat. I don't fly it. You guys need to work that out.
That's not my job.
So Peggy like gets in, and then of course they're like, "What are you doing, Carter?" Literally, you just said you have no time. I understand that you hate women in power and you hate women fighting, but I mean, come on. You have nobody else. There's nobody else who else is going to get in there? The brilliant guy on the ground with the damn lighter in his hand? No. Like, so
the genius.
So she jumped in the machine. Dr. Earth. She became the Captain America experiment of Dr. Abraham Erskine. I thought that was I would say his name right, Erskine. I thought that was really cool. I like that. I love that how he literally was debating her. Debating her, and they had no time. And Howard just straight up said, "I'm not getting in that damn machine."
Howard said straight up. Howard's like, "I know I built it. I don't trust it. I don't know if it'll work." Like, but then again, you got to think back on it. Remember, the super soldier serum they know wouldn't work on everyone. They had to work on somebody. They knew Steve Rogers' bio. I guess Rogers was a little bit more compatible. Hopefully, plus he was so weak. Like, what he had to lose, he was really wanting to do it. So I could see.
Yeah. Well, I think like the Weapon X experiment kind of proved that you had to have certain, physiology. But that's not even a fair comparison because Logan got the same serum, remember? And you see what happened to him.
Did you just catch that? Like I went out for a second. I didn't know what was going on.
No, you froze. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I started laughing because I see this comment down here. What if the lighter guy became Captain America? And I'm really like not liking that scenario.
That's why I said no. We're not gonna put him. No, not at all. You can't have unintelligent people.
Well, Maria, you're missing the point. They said there was nobody left. Lighter guy was there. They could have threw him in the machine.
No, that was the point, Groove. There was nobody left. His dumb ass had a lighter. He's not getting in there. Plus, it makes more sense anyway. I've always felt, even watching the Captain America MCU movie, Peggy was perfect for this. Mm-hmm. She was a perfect candidate. The only thing that set her apart was she had boobs and a vajayjay. That's literally it. That is literally it.
The only setback.
Setback. They even accepted that she was British. Yeah, some of the trainees like were talking smack, and then she needed them in the balls, and they got over it. But it's just this is the woman who founded SHIELD. It doesn't make any damn sense. I'm gonna
tell you like this. This is how I honestly feel. At all the writers that write stuff that pushes feminism or pushes womanism or any whatever ism out there that promotes women strongly, Captain Carter did it correctly. That's correct.
It's more like naturally. It's a natural.
Yeah.
She came into it with skills.
Exactly. So, it was natural. And she wasn't strong because she was a woman. She was strong because she was a strong person. Her character carried her through. Do this more in storytelling. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I loved it. I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to watch this, review it. I'm not sure I was gonna go because it's animated. And it might not be that great. Marvel does really crap animation, but Disney.
Yeah, they don't have a history of having great Marvel movies. DC actually does better than Marvel in animated form, and then Marvel usually does better in most live action movies. But
you see that? Yeah, you see that? How the Suicide Squad was pretty good live action. And that was what.
Hello, Agent Carter. How are you? Our Agent Carter's universe. Yes, it is live. You are live. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some other cool aspects of this episode. First of all, this isn't cool, but Colonel John Flynn was a dick.
That's
the entire time, and I was like,
no one's surprise. he was kind of a dick in the original line.
He was, but it made more sense why he was being a dick to her.
Yeah.
Because he generally didn't think because she was a woman, she was qualified. In the Captain America Steve Rogers version, he was just a dick because, he was supposed to be the symbol of America. He'd rather have, marketing and propaganda spread around, that keep people fighting, blah, 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 keep their spirits up. If I have you out there fighting, then I can't market you out and do traveling shows. I mean, that's what you're good for, right? Just you're not a real soldier.
That's that Baythong meme that.
Yeah, give me the money. But I will say I love that. I also love the fact that so we got to see all these different kind of experiments that Howard was working on, and he has this Tesseract powered hydro stomper, and I was like literally he built the Iron Man suit before his son became Iron Man. I was
what I love about the most? Unlike his son, he was about size. He was about volume. He was like, no.
He did a big O. He was making big O.
He created a monster. That something like that to exist in the 1940s is unreal. That's like how the doctor said, it's like finding a cell phone in the Stone Age. Like, that should not be there at all.
Hey, I was it was either going to be a symbol or Easter egg for us showing that someday my son will be Iron Man, or he really was making Big O / a Gundam before his time.
Talk about Easter eggs. What Bucky? You almost ripped my arm off. I hate trains.
I know. And then this is my point. This is what I wish they had done in this damn episode. So when Steve was the one that fell off the train and he ended up being captured, I was like, oh, are they going to make Steve Rogers, the Winter Soldier in reverse? I'm like, that is definitely. No. And they fucking did. I was like, why?
That's too much fun for episode 1.
No. I was like, why? No. That'd have been a way to pump him up a little bit, give him a serum or do something to him. Because, I will give Peggy this. Back in the day when the Captain America movie first came out, the first Avenger movie, people were like, oh, well, Peggy seemed to like him, but it wasn't until he got in the machine that, then she really wanted to be with him. Well, now look at this. She was still trying to get with his ass, and he didn't even have the serum. I'm like, he was scrawny, and she was like 5 times bigger than him. And she was like, bring it. So I thought that was pretty cool that she still was into him.
Yeah, because they made it whereas though they really genuinely liked each other. It wasn't anything to do with Steve Rogers being, a beefcake or nothing like that. It's just that, with him being who he actually is, it is more to do with, it is just his personality. She actually liked him for him. It had nothing to do with anything. They were falling for each other.
And for me to give him props.
Yeah, I know.
A lot because I am not a Cap fan. I do not.
Y'all have no Cap. Maria does not like Cap. Cap.
I do not like Cap. But I like Captain Carter a lot. The animation in this was on point. I loved the animation in this.
It looks like when they re-released the Doctor episodes that were lost with that animation style that was like kind of almost like Archer-ish, but not really. It's like that, but they polished it.
It also reminded me of the X-Men anime that they did in Japan.
Yeah,
like that style was really. It kind of looked like that to me. Maybe I like the animation a lot for this.
I think they're trying to copy but lighten down what they did for Spider-Man. What was it called? Into the Spider-Verse, because they've been working the animation style like that for a minute. It seems like because it's cell shaded, it's just not super colorful like that movie was. So I think maybe they were aiming for that. Whatever. But then again, you know how Disney is like, oh, let's throw something up there.
Like, why?
Do it so. Oh, we go.
And then my thing too is that there's so many things. There's so many things with the animation, but I also with the voice actors, they got everybody to come back except for Chris Evans. I actually took a note on his voice actor's name. So let me see if I can find it. His voice was Josh Keaton. So Josh Keaton ended up doing Steve Rogers' voice. And now in my mind, I'm thinking, is there some bad blood with Chris Evans and Disney? Because why didn't he come back to reprise his role? Now, to be fair, he could be filming something. I don't like starting rumors. It just was interesting that they got everybody else except for him. So I thought that was really weird.
Oh.
I don't know. That was very strange. You are freezing a little bit too. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
All right, there we go.
But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting that Josh Keaton ended up filling in for Chris Evans. I'm like, what was Chris Evans doing? I mean, hell, we're in the time of remote recording here. You could have recorded that from home in his underwear. I don't understand why he didn't do it.
I think it's because like a lot of them, when Endgame went through, a lot of them, that was the end of it. They didn't renew their contracts. This goes for Chris Evans. This goes for, of course, Scarlett Johansson. Well, she's almost blacklisted now by Disney, so whatever. But they didn't want to pay her, and they are wrong for that. I don't care what anybody thinks. Disney should pay her. No, it's not pay her. Disney should have respected her request for royalties. They were wrong for what they did. But it's Disney. You can't fight Disney. It's like fighting the Death Star. I don't know. And then I
have to look more into her contract, because I also, as a working voice actor, I know that it is also our responsibility to fight for our own stuff. And when COVID hit, a lot of us got hit hard. And if your studios are still going by the archaic rules of your original contract and you haven't modified your shiz, you are also responsible for that. Because I can't think that I'm never going to believe that a contract, a client, or any organization that I do voiceover work for has my best interests at heart. Yeah. They are there to make money. And they, as far as they're concerned, they already got my talent. They got my voice. They got me. So it's also on me. Not saying it's fair not to get that stuff, but it's also on me to be like, hey, if you want to continue to use my stuff before this even sees the light of day, we need to revise my shiz.
Yeah, but
if that didn't happen, then
but Disney is litigious as hell, and
nobody's taking that side. I'm talking about the legality of it. I know what happened if I was in this situation and I didn't go up and say, hey, this is my contract. That's just how that shit goes. But that's a different video.
Yeah,
that's completely different video.
But even then, and also Robert Downey Jr. They all were saying that that was their last thing with him. Period. So I think with that being said, that's why you're not seeing Chris Evans in it. Because that was the end of his contract. And I don't think he wanted to renew it. I think he was like, no, I need not be seen as Captain America. Some of them are afraid. I mean, really, it doesn't matter. I mean, Chris Evans can't be typecasted because Chris Evans has been the strong man, main hero, sex appeal type guy in a lot of movies. Even in None of the Teen movie was a parody. He still had that.
Yeah, he was that way in Scott Pilgrim too.
Yeah, so like I said, the typecast Chris Evans is almost impossible, in my opinion. But I can see where he was like, okay, I'm done playing Captain America. Do what you want to do. I'm over it. Cool, we can get rid of him. He basically dies, and it's end of it. I mean, I think is when they don't want to renew their contracts, that's when they kill them off in plot. I'm pretty sure if Robert Downey Jr. was still down for playing Tony Stark at all, they wouldn't have got rid of him in the end of Endgame, honestly. Even from a storytelling standpoint. Like, no,
yeah,
we gotta find a way. He survives to be another movie wearing his cool sunglasses, driving off in a BMW.
But I mean, we're getting Riri Williams, and I'm happy about that. So there's that. There is that. But it does. I know none of this is going to be actually canon. Nothing that happens in this. This is basically our journey. To think of us being on the Marvel Enterprise, going through space, through multiverses that no man or woman has gone before. And that's literally what is happening right now. The what ifs. Even though, quite frankly, I'm be real with you, I would have effing loved if this had been the actual Captain America movie that we got. That would have been badass. I would have had no problems with this.
I would have enjoyed it, but I will tell you the truth. If they made Captain America like that back when the Captain America first came out, and made Peggy Carter that instead of Steve Rogers, we would never got to Endgame at all because people would have flushed it down the toilet. Like, this is something we can only do once everybody got what they wanted. Now they can have fun, do what they feel like doing. But that's comic books for you. That's fantasy. That's how this industry kind of works. So, I mean,
well, we've learned as fans that a lot of people that are the ones flushing it down the toilet sometimes are not the ones that are the comic book fans, because if they are, they realize that comics have alternate universes, alternate tellings all the damn time. So
that is usually always the case.
That is 99.9% of the it's
always like it's like it's just that there's an upper 10% and then lower 10%. That's all we pay attention to. But there's all this like 70%, middle ground here that no one's watching. So like, 80%. I can't maths. 80% in the middle.
You can't maths.
And no one's paying attention to. So, but yeah, like that's what happens. And like, what about the real fans? And they're like, what about the real fans? We're gonna make somebody's mind upset. So like, we're not gonna do it. Something different. No, we're gonna
something different. Not doing it. Well, I love how they ended this one though, right? She actually came out of a portal, and the Battle of fucking New York's happening. He's like, hey, Yeah, that was like 70 years ago. She's like, what?
You know what I'm going to say, though? I absolutely love, and I'm going to say this over and over again, I absolutely love Samuel Jackson. I love that he's always on board to be part of it. Samuel Jackson is clearly a huge nerd. He has to
absolutely.
He's a nerd at heart. He loves anime. He loves comic books. He even said he loves hentai. I remember hearing that on interview. So, like, you know,
Samuel Jackson. I like their Samuel Jackson.
Sam Jackson is like, anytime you need me to do anything, he was in Jumper. Like, come on now. Like, of course he's into comic books and sci-fi and fantasy and goofiness. I'm so glad he exists. I'm being real with you. Like, you know, what I do want to know is, why is it they keep calling Watu just the Watcher? You know, the Watcher is a race. It's not his name. Like, even if it's supposed to be like, you know, his like, I guess like his little moniker or title or whatever. The Watcher.
Yeah, his nomenclature. His nomenclature. But I mean, it's actually, remember, there's watchers plural who are basically cosmic beings who basically watch shit. But, you know, and like, I don't know, Marvel doesn't look. I mean, come on,
just call him by his name.
They usually change everything in the comics. I mean, they merge characters together. I mean, they did it in Loki. So I mean, I'm used to this. MCU does a great job at storytelling. They do a great job of introducing characters, but let's be clear, they are not comic accurate. They are not.
No.
So I mean, if that's what people are looking for, then you're wrong. so the whole argument is when everyone's like, oh, well, Marvel's always accurate to the comics and DC is not. I'm like, yes, that is not true.
No, you may not.
All the effing time.
No, you may not say that, because I will tell you right now, when the first Avengers came out and they were fighting that entire horde that Loki produced in the middle of the city, because they were in New York. Do you know how many heroes would have jumped? Spider-Man, Daredevil, all the X-Men, they would have all been, the Fantastic Four, they would have all been there to help out. That is a global level like problem. Yep. They can't afford a card like that. Why would they? Like, their biggest budget was during Endgame. They had everybody, and when you watched that, you were just like, the whole nerd in you was like,
he froze again. He's like, they were so in shock they froze. Well, no. Like, if you think about the Defenders on Netflix, they were in the same universe because they had the newspaper clippings on the wall. So you mean to tell me that Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all the people that have abilities are sitting around saying, "Oh, there are aliens outside." Like, cool shit. Look at that. Look, you preaching to the choir with this one. I already know.
Big question.
I already know.
I wonder if Disney can buy out the Defenders from who owns that property? Who owns Jessica Jones and Luke Cage?
Right now they're up in the air because Netflix had exclusive contract where I think it was like 2 to 3 years, if I remember the timing, that they couldn't use the characters after the series themselves ended.
Because I'm wondering, because remember, U.S. Agent was a part of the Defenders for a good minute. So I wonder if they're going to put U.S. Agent with Luke Cage and that'd be kind of neat, and then put Wolverine.
If we're doing a theory, if you want that to happen, it's possible, because if it's true, and we have Matt Murdock and the actual actor from Netflix in the new Spider-Man movie,
it has to be that.
Then I mean, look, at this point,
do not bring Ben Affleck back.
Look, at this point, because of what happened in Loki, anything can happen.
You got a point. I don't know. I feel like
just saying. But we're gonna look at some of these questions because we need to look at them because my friend Chris just said, "Hello, Maria. Hope I'm not too late. Love the pigtails." And I'm like, thank you. This is my lazy hairstyle because I don't have to do anything.
The pigtails, and all right, you're
you know what? You should just bite me, Groove. Don't make me. I'll come for you in the dark. Hello, Mercenary. Hi, Ryan. I think I already said hi, but just in case. I can't wait for the other 9 episodes. I cannot either.
It's only going to be 9?
I think it's 10 total. There's 10 total.
I'm so tired of Disney with this. You got to give me a whole season, Disney.
Look, I mean, like, they're not spending money when they.
I need at least 15 or 20 episodes. I need a whole thing. You can't just. Oh my god! Like,
look. As long as they get to the key characters I want them to get to, that is fine. Besides, there could always be a season 2. It's fine.
You know they're gonna make a Loki season 2.
Of course they are. They need to make a Loki season 2. How that shit ended.
Tell you what Disney's good at, making money.
Okay, we already answered this one. What if the lighter guy became Captain America? I would poop.
No.
That's how that would go.
Absolutely not.
That's literally what would happen. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing?
What's going on?
And Yito is back. I'm so happy.
Hey, what's going on, Yito?
He said, finally made it to a live stream. Work has been kicking my butt these past few months. I know. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
The mecha suit was awesome. Yes, Big O was amazing.
That's that's literally what it was. Honestly.
It was Big O, I'm telling you, I was looking for Dorothy the whole damn episode.
He not guilty. I didn't even know, and I say that I wasn't even a big fan of Big O. Honestly, I really wasn't.
You don't have to be, but everybody knows. Yeah. It's just like if you've never watched Gundam Wing a day in your life, you always remember it's a Gundam. You're always going to remember that damn line because you heard it somewhere on Cartoon Network or Toonami.
That's true. That's very true.
Hello, Latino. How are you?
Latino Mifune. Oh, I like that.
If they actually built on this what if ideas and have Peggy do a time skip, I wonder how Peggy would get along with Tony Stark once the Chitauri come into play. Ooh.
You know he's going to hit on her. He has to.
You know what's so funny to me though? Like when he was hitting on Black Widow or Natasha in the MCU and the second Iron Man movie, I believe she was in, and they were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he did it." And I was like, "Why are you shocked?" Number one, Tony hits on everybody. And then let's be clear, Natasha was not a saint because she has slept with so many Avengers. I'm like, so many people in the Avengers she has slept real. With. Yeah, her and Winter Soldier would get together a long time in the comics, but she's been with a lot.
Let's keep it 100. I know a lot of people don't know this. Y'all didn't read Iron Man comic books. Most people didn't read Iron Man comic books back in the day. I read a good few. Tell you about Tony Stark, you may not know. Tony was a hoe. No, it was Tony a hoe. Tony wasn't.
When you got the right crowd, a lot of the people in here have read lots of comics, so they already have the knowledge of Tony's promiscuous ways.
Not only was he a hoe, but he wasn't even well liked or respected amongst most of the other superheroes. Like he really wasn't. They gave Tony Stark a very huge platform to be on in these movies. Typically speaking, it'd be like, oh yeah, it's Tony. Yeah, he just telling what to do. He's a tech guy. Oh, is he about to betray him again? That was going on, but double cross him. He double crossed a lot. So I mean, you know what though?
But that's what he does. He's pretty much when it comes to like how he runs his corporations, he definitely is a Lex Luthor kingpin type. He has that mentality.
Tony Stark, he drinks and he knows things.
I mean, but I mean, you can just dissect down Iron Man's versus the MCU all day because even Pepper was not technically his true love at first. Remember, she was married to Happy, so
and she was happy with him.
Yep, just dropping some knowledge. I feel like Peggy would have a harder time dealing with Tony than Steve did.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
You know what though?
I want to hit to the crotch. That's all it's gonna take. Just like she did a lighter guy.
But you know what though? I feel like she'll say something kind of snarky to Tony because like I knew your daddy. Yeah, you're like a child to me. But I have a feeling that if it was done not by Disney, that they would give him a love connection. They will make them romantic interest on purpose. Like she just learns to like him because he's so clever and witty and snide. With his little
and that's the thing about Tony. We all know Tony's a dick, but they actually made him actually give a crap about his team.
Yeah,
in MCU. They did that in MCU. And that's why whenever the whole stuff with Steve was going down, it kind of pissed me off because Steve would say, I don't lie, which is not true because you did lie in your movie. And then I don't do this and I do that. I'm the one that would jump on the grenade. Okay, well, no, you're the one that jumped in time and went back and lived your best life and left your team behind to deal with what you were supposedly upset about when, Civil War was going on. Like I said, don't get me down that road. Don't you get me down that road.
Didn't he just
get me on there?
Where was the TVA when that happened?
Seriously, I mean, talk about a variant.
Like Jesus Christ! Like,
I mean, hell, we might as well be doing a Fry thing. I'm a father myself.
Makes no sense at all. None.
No, it did not at all. Just Cap in the MCU or in the comics too. I don't care for. I did not dislike Captain America in the comics. I didn't like him in what was the Spider-Man run? Oh, I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't think I liked him in that. He was a bit of a dick in that. But again, this is also heavily influenced by the MCU. But like, there's Cap is not. He doesn't pretend to be the golden boy in the comics that he does in the MCU.
No.
He's extremely judgmental in the MCU. But yeah, he does shit that's off shade all the time. So I mean, like when he was saving Bucky, basically those cops that were coming to arrest them, they were not a terrorist organization. They weren't Red Skull. They were just doing their damn job. He literally took one of those dudes and slammed his head through a brick wall. So, I mean, that's what a soldier does. I mean, the soldier follows the rules. So, like I said, he's full of crap. I don't like him at all.
Hey, Captain America is kind of like Peacemaker. Like, they're not that different in character.
They're really not. Actually, you just called it. He is Peacemaker for me. MCU Captain America is pretty much Peacemaker from DC's Suicide Squad.
That's really what he is.
Yep. Peggy does strike me as much less naive than Steve.
Because
she is. She's smart. Let me break it down for the first Captain America movie. The guy literally was trying to get recruited into the army and went and had the same test, the pre-qualification test at 5 different locations. Even though it's a federal offense, he could have gone to jail. And that is what, guys? A lie. But he literally kept getting turned down, and his dumbass was like, oh, we're going, and literally took the same form. He's like, I see you've been turned down by all of these other locations. I'm gonna do you a favor and keep the train going, and not basically arrest you for lying. No, he's stupid. He could have found another way in, because I mean, everybody else would have. Comic book characters are very, very adaptive, and he's not. And that's one thing about it with him.
It's why the Avengers comic series had a hard time picking up and kicking off, because the two, like Captain America was always the leader of the Avengers, and of course, Iron Man was. But those are two very unlikable characters. And Captain America was important during a time where, the Nazis were, a real presence. They were a political party at the time when they started bringing him out as a character in general. That's how old these comics are. So I mean, they're not gonna, give him a real personality. Captain America was just that, America fighting communism.
Yeah, well, I feel like he tries to be very by the book, and so you have to have somebody who can go off track. But again, all of that went out the damn window when Bucky was involved. That's what I'm saying. Then you really saw who Steve was right then.
He gave up being a hero over his his friend Bucky.
And look, he gave up really quickly too. Like really quickly. Yeah, he was like, oh no, I'm done with all this stuff here. I mean, you deal with your own crisis. I got Bucky, so bye. I'm like, well, what about our nope. I know you guys went to jail and stuff, and I'll break you out. But right now I gotta get Bucky. And Sharon, yeah, you may have a hard time because you're basically wanted and you stole from the government, so they consider you a traitor to the United States. But I gotta say, Bucky, I could have taken you with me too to Wakanda. Maybe you could have hit out there, but nah, I'd rather you be on the run for the rest of your life, and then be bitter about it, and then make bad choices, and then become the power broker later. I'm just saying. None of that's my fault though, because I'm Steve Rogers. Yes.
He took Brokeback Mountain a little too far, dude.
He really did. He really look. If you want to talk about some queer baiting, everyone's like, how dare you say that Falcon and Bucky had how they made him look like a bromance. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Right. But you ain't gonna tell me they didn't do that with Steve and Bucky. I'm sorry. Yes, they effing did.
Like Captain America, Ursula. I mean, what are we doing?
So he said Josh Keaton was Spider-Man.
Wait,
was
what?
He sure as heck was in the 2017 to 2020 run.
For real?
Cool.
Oh wow!
He doesn't sound like him. Well, he did a really good job imitating Chris Evans' voice, so you got to give him that. That was a very good voice match. So definitely, I think he was also. I want to say he was also Hercules, but I couldn't find it. I know he was. I know Josh Keaton was in a lot of Ben 10 stuff too, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know who he was. He might have just been a lot of random transformation.
No, he was in the '97 version Hercules. He was. Yeah, look at it now. He's done a lot of superhero comic book stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's probably that means he's probably one of Disney's retainer casts, the voice actors they can go to when they need people.
Probably, actually.
Let's see. What if episode gets me kind of hyped for Roberta Johnson? Who's Roberta Johnson? Captain America 2099. Oh, Mendez is actually one of my favorite versions of Captain America. He corrected himself. I was like Johnson. I'm like, I feel like that's an old Motown singer name. I'm like, what's happening right now? Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, like I said, we're getting Riri Williams. We could get Roberta Mendez, but then people would lose their shit saying, "Oh, Captain America woman and Iron
Yeah,
No,
you
they
know
lose
how the
they lose
internet is. You understand how the manosphere works. It's a completely different animal. I don't
Yep.
like
Um,
they have their moments and they don't. So
the comic fans usually are cool if the creators are straightforward with us. This is true. We will never be cool with Arrowverse because they're not straightforward with each other. So they're never gonna be straightforward with us. I don't think they talk to each other when they make choices on the Arrowverse, honestly.
They don't. I mean,
No, they don't.
that was my problem. Biggest thing with the I almost said the Hercules. Good Lord. He-Man. About the same character, but He-Man, when they this universe, Master Universe Revelations thing, the same thing. Like, just be straightforward. Tell them what you're actually done. I mean, you gotta reveal the whole plot, but like, be honest. Don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it, which is why I had you review it. But I will say it was very misleading to have He-Man in the episodes if he's not in the episodes a lot. Now I don't want to talk about it here because I don't know who actually has seen it or not, so I won't spoil anything. But yeah, I think it was a very misleading trailer. Let's put it that way.
If you haven't watched it, it's an easy watch, like 2 hours long. Just watch the whole thing and then like,
just move on with your life.
Like, that's what this was.
Yeah. Right. I'm most hyped for She-Hulk. Me too. I am so excited for the She-Hulk. I don't know what. Did they announce when it's going to come out? I don't know if they actually had her show release date yet.
I don't think they have. But then again, I'm sometimes disconnected with all the updates. Google doesn't.
I know it's in 2022. But I don't think they ever said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just filming right now. So that's interesting. But I mean, again, we have a lot of content to look forward to before. It's not like we're going to be like hurting because I know Hawkeye comes out in November. I think it's the 23rd or 24th of November.
Yeah.
So we do have Hawkeye to look forward to. And I am a Kate Bishop fan. I'm really interested. I know that Haley Steinfeld's going through some stuff because people don't realize she is part Asian. And so when they cast, in West Coast Avengers, we saw Kate's mother, and yes, she is Asian, and people are like, "Oh, well, she doesn't look Asian enough," and I'm like, "Ain't never gonna win."
West Coast. That's not in the movies. What is the West Coast? What's going on in California?
But we do. I mean, I thought for the longest time she thought her mother was dead, and they revealed her mother to be alive in the comics, and she is Asian, so she's half white, half Asian. She's Eurasian.
What's funny about that is that the West Coast comics actually did better in sales, I think, than the East version.
Well, yeah, because it was campier. Like, of course, it's going to be better than. Yeah, it was a campier comic. Like, even the Los Angeles team that to me was not as popular. But and you're freezing again. Sorry, I don't know why you froze for a second.
You froze on my end too. That was really weird.
Okay, guys, am I freezing on your end, or is it just Groove that's freezing? I'm confused. Let me know.
You're freezing on mine. I was like, oh, okay.
Because I'm still moving. Are you still moving when you freeze, or?
Well, for a second I'm moving, and then it goes dark and there's a little loading icon, and then it comes back to me. But then
mine's not doing that at all.
Like, and then I do that. Just me?
It's just you. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Yeah, it's just Groove. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. You paid a lot of money for that router, dude. You better go yell at somebody. West Coast they ass.
I will.
But yeah, back to the whole
John
thing.
Freeze the most.
Back to the thing we were talking about with Haley though, and her being Eurasian, and then of course Kate Bishop supposedly being Eurasian because that's what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
My thing is this. People are in the feeling saying she's not Asian enough and she's Eurasian. But yet Shang-Chi is whole ass half European and nobody's saying he's not, half white enough. I'm like,
no, do you know
leave
why?
the mixed kids alone, damn it.
Because it's called Shang-Chi. That's America for you. That's America right there.
But his mama was not called Shang-Chi. We don't really know. We've seen her face. I put it in the video. If you look at my Mixed Erasure video, her picture's in there.
Better yet, most people don't even know what Shang-Chi's about. So like,
they don't even know that he's half white. Apparently, I was like, when China was all up in arms to this day, I never got that. I'm like, but he would not have been traditionally Chinese completely because his mama was white. So stop talking. Like, just stop it. Bees quiet. Let's see here. Sorry guys, to scroll down a minute, so I'm gonna make sure I got your questions. Tatiana for the win. Yes, I agree. Sam Jackson.
Tatiana? You mean Titania?
Yeah. Titania.
You said Tatiana.
I'm tired. Leave me alone. I know what I was saying in my head. Like, Sam Jackson is a comic and anime fan in real life. He was reading The Boys at least a decade before most people knew about it. Hell, I did extras for Afro Samurai, and he was one of the directors when I was at Funimation. So yes, he was very cool.
Isn't Afro Samurai his work, by the way?
Yeah. Now like I said, Samuel Jackson. We like Samuel Jackson. Thank you, Sylvie, for this show. Civil War will never live up to the hype due to the sheer amount of heroes that are missing.
This is the truth. That's the truth. You can't deny it.
You know what I remember from Civil War, besides all the heroes taking different sides, Fantastic Four stance, all that, was the scene where Peter was getting it on with MJ in their room, and Iron Man left his helmet, and he was watching him. And I was like, you boy, you nasty mother F. Like, that and the time that MJ pretty much was in this play, and this reporter got her to reveal some stuff, and Wolverine was making fun of her and saying, she's pretty, but she's not that bright, and saying all this shit. And Peter just walked over, picked Wolverine out, and threw him out the window, and they were like on the 17th floor. I was like, if anybody wants to know how a fight would turn out between Spider-Man and Wolverine, I'm gonna tell you.
Let's be real and clear here, okay? Between Spider-Man and Wolverine, Spider-Man would kick Wolverine's ass. I don't care what no one says.
He would. The only difference is Wolverine would just keep coming back. Like,
he would.
It's like him in Punisher.
Die. Like, that's the thing. Is like, but no, Spider-Man is so strong and so fast. Like, get serious. Spider-Man
with Kareem or Wolverine, he just wouldn't die. Like I said, I've seen him be ripped in half by Hulk, and his body is like trying to put itself back together.
Yeah, that was crazy. What's funny is that issue of Deadpool when he was trying to die for no reason because he was just tired, and he tried to get Hulk to do it. Hulk was like, "Go away from me!" Like, I'm not.
He was getting mad because he couldn't, because he was trying everything and he wouldn't die. He
was like, "Go away." Sentry tried, and Sentry burned himself out trying to kill Deadpool. It was like, man, what the hell are you made of? But no, that whole series was just hilarious.
Well, when Punisher was trying to kill him, it was hilarious. I have that issue, and it was graphic, it was gore. He did everything, and Wolverine he was literally a fucking skeleton saying, "Are you done?" He had no skin on his body.
Honestly, I think my favorite Punisher series is with Barracuda. That's like one of my favorite Punisher issues ever. I remember reading it when I was in college, and I was like, man, this is crazy. What the hell is this? And then they gave Barracuda his own little story, like his little prequel story. I'm like, why are we doing this? This guy is awful. Like, this is terrible. This is just snuff. This whole comic is just snuff. That's all it is.
Well, Marvel, all the comics go to dark places sometimes. You know that.
Oh, I've read Spawn. Oh yes, I know it does.
Hell, look at Captain Marvel. That whole situation with her child was interesting. Even the comic book Civil War began with the New Warriors failing to stop Nitro from exploding, and MCU it started with an accidental explosion caused by Wanda and Crossbones. But they can't do that with Wanda right now. Wanda's got some not really canon House of M, technically not House of M stuff going on right now.
I know, right? Probably trying to put the MCU into it. Like, let's make them all together. Quicksilver's dead. What next?
Yep. It's like, question mark. The MCU is losing a lot of storytelling potential from not having the X-Men. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
A trillion %.
The X-Men are like, if you put the MCU, it's just Marvel in general, the X-Men are at the center of it. Like, they're involved in everything they do. Maybe not Cyclops, but from Psylocke to Wolverine and Sabretooth. I mean, like, Jubilee even has a bigger role. Gambit does a lot of stuff with the Avengers. Like, there's so much they're missing out by not putting them in there. It's absolutely insane. Like,
yep. But we know they're going to bring them in. We knew eventually they were going to have for them to go the route they wanted to go in with the stories they want to tell. There's no way they cannot incorporate the X-Men because they would run out of characters. They would literally run out of characters that were not, the B characters. So
they put Deadpool in it. That's going to be funny.
And he's just gonna walk around and do nothing. He'll be like, "Yeah, you guys are shit," and then walk right back out. Walk out and be like, "Well, this looks like a really tense situation."
Disney is taking a huge like family friendly risk by saying yes, Deadpool will be part of the MCU.
Look, they know
Wow.
that the rate they're going, especially with Secret Invasion, that it's going to get graphic anyway. So I mean,
it has to.
That it's not like
they can't
have to be
Cinderella
able
this.
to incorporate it. But I'm telling you, he's going to be that fourth wall breaker that just walks in off the side, freeze the scene and be like, I wonder how he's getting out of this. Well, bye. Like,
all right, a little bit sticky wicket
with this, but nah.
Like, man, imagine at a Disney movie where somebody says the F word. Oh my God,
I would absolutely love that. I would, especially if he edited himself in the middle of it. Like the whole thing is a bunch of like bleeps and be like, I just want to say bleep 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 bleep.
Like in Scott Pilgrim, how you doing that with your mouth? Don't do it.
The girl that was always talking crap. I love that movie.
Yes.
At the very least, Maria, we avoided MCU one more day. Oh, fuck that series. With how Civil War Spider-Man was portrayed. Tony didn't reveal his identity to the public, so Aunt May. No.
One more day can say where it is.
One more day. No, one more day actually is one more piece of shit released by Marvel. I absolutely. One more day is where they retconned Spider-Man and MJ's marriage because Aunt May, who's like 1,000 effing years old, got shot. And Mephisto gave them a choice. Oh, bro, I'll save your Aunt May, but I want your marriage. Because of all the things Mephisto could have effing asked for, the marriage was the biggest thing, right? Not your identity as Spider-Man, not any of this. I'll make it so nobody knows who you are. I'll put your life in order. You get your Aunt May back. But guess what? Your ass can't be married to Mary Jane. You can't know each other. It was the stupidest effing storyline because Joe could say they didn't freaking like Mary Jane. That's the whole thing. When you get people in power that are nerds, they go after the characters they didn't like
every time
over that series, and then they just that's what it was. It was so. I literally bought. I joke about it. It's actually not a joke. I bought the hard graphic novel. Actually, I think it's actually the full graphic novel.
Why would you do that?
So I can record myself jumping up and down on it. I use it as a stress relief, like a stress ball. Whenever I get mad at work or whatever, I just take it and I throw that damn thing in. So I'm like, F this damn series. I don't even care if it's not what I'm mad about at the time. It's what I take it out on. I effing hate that storyline. Now, I love Superior Spider-Man, having Doc Ock.
That was actually pretty interesting. That was cool. That was a very interesting what if. But
that is a great what if they ever want to do a Spider-Man what if. That was on track. Yeah, but that whole one more piece of crap, hell no. No. And Grandma says no.
All these years,
make me get my Switch. Let me see. Big O. You know it's Big O. Come on, Latino. Yes, Tony Stark could have been a porn star.
And y'all would watch all his movies.
Kevin, don't aim that low. He's a damn director. He owns the porn house.
Like he wouldn't be a part of his own movies. You know, he would guest star in his own shit.
No, he wouldn't. He's that man that likes to watch, as I said, when he watched Peter and Mary Jane. He don't want you watching him and Pepper and all these other women going at it. He wants to watch them. Come on. This is Tony Stark. I can see Tony
Stark co-starring something he made. I can see that. I can see it.
Yeah, Tony Stark has a lot of Emmys for a reason, and some of them, or most of them, are women.
Jesus Christ. Tony Stark is the definition of not shit. Like that dude is
Latino. I'm looking forward to the what if episode where they ask what if people in the CW knew how to write.
Can we say that? Can we talk about that right now?
Oh my God.
Do we have that permission?
Hold on. No.
I got to have a whole another 2 hours to get into what's wrong with the Arrowverse? Can we do that right now?
This is going on the community tab later.
Man, we need some hours to discuss what is wrong with the CW and their superheroes.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
I think
that's storytelling.
I think something broke. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, Latino, you can't be doing this early. Run, Barry, run.
Why is it that CW only rely on Flashpoint for everything? How many Flashpoints can you out? You know what?
No, now, the reason we do our Crisis parody on this channel is because the CW tries to blame all their F-ups on Crisis, when Crisis was the largest F-up to begin with.
Like, dude, no, you know what helps you? You write a decent fucking story.
No, but think about that. They're like, well, we modified this in this show because Crisis did it. No, what you're really telling us is that you yourself realized that Crisis was a piece of shit. So, I mean, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Don't. All I know is I just got broken inside. So things are. Oh gosh, I'm glad I don't have any eye makeup on. I'd be crying mascara down my face.
My thing with this is this comment. I didn't like Civil War in the comics either. I wasn't a big fan of that story. I really wasn't. I found it kind of, I don't know, pretentious. That's the wrong word. What am I looking for? It was, it felt shallow to me. It felt like it was a really weird attempt at tackling politics in comics, and it just didn't feel real. It felt like maybe 12-year-olds arguing about what they understand about the political climate of the world.
Well, to be fair, though, a lot of people that were reading this were 12, so maybe that's what they were going for.
Yeah, I guess.
But man, let's think about the fact that comics have always been political. They've always been political. You know, Superman basically was literally created during a time where people were talking about war, going through war, dealing with war, trying to process the idea of war, and they needed a national symbol. And instead of them picking a random soldier like they did in the Captain America movie and pumping him up with a super serum, they said they created pretty much a pumped up super serum guy from a planet that was okay. He was an alien, but whatever. He couldn't fly. He actually just leaped a lot. But it's fine. It's
originally
fine.
What it was. He just jumped really far, really fast, and he's caught it flying. And we're like, dude, just cut that out. Let's let him fly. The hell
yeah, but I mean, as for Civil War, the thing about comics, and I know you guys understand that because you've all read them. I could be upset with how a storyline is going, but it doesn't matter because that same storyline is going to basically be transposed across 75 different issues of 75 different characters' damn storylines. Yeah. So I may not like this aspect of it, but maybe they handle it, pretty well over in Elektra's book or over in the Fantastic Four's book or over here in Spider-Man's book. So something about it will, kind of,
It's in Elektra's book?
Well, Elektra had comic runs.
I know she did, but I'm just like...
Yeah, I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying it's Civil War had boy. Don't let them see how two Sagittariuses deal with each other on the screen.
I'm just asking questions.
To be clear, look, philosopher. I realize you are a very worldly and you have all of this knowledge, but I'm still 10 years older than you. I'm gonna kick your ass. Be quiet. Anyway, I'm not fond of Captain America in the comics. I mean, that's fair. I don't have an opinion of him in the comics. So is that, I guess, except for an Ultimate Spider-Man, he was a dick. But
I'm with Guido on that one. Captain America is not the comic books. He's him, and in the movies, he's him. Captain America has never been a hero.
The MCU version of Captain America is a lot worse than the comics version. It really is. He really is.
He's a lot like what was his name in Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh, he was an actor. I forgot the name. He was an actor on set when he might have been himself. Didn't he play Chris Evans?
No, he didn't play. He basically, yeah, but no, he played. I watched that movie 4 times in theaters.
Yeah, I own it. I have it on Blu-ray. I cannot remember. Hold on, making me do work here. I'm tired of you, Groove.
I'm looking up myself. Like, what do you watch? Like, I didn't force you to do something.
Don't make me come for you in the dark. Let's see here. He played Lucas Lee.
Lee, that's right.
See, look, I'm looking at myself.
Huh?
I'm looking up myself. Still found it first.
I looked it up too. I'm just looking at it. I looked it up
faster. My brain goes faster, man. I'm letting you know. Faster.
Whatever.
But no, I love that movie. So if you ever hear us talking about Scott Pilgrim, that movie is absolutely on crack. Even though it's completely different than the comics, it's ending completely different. But
you know what though? If you watching the movie, reading the comics, you kind of like both of them. Like they're both.
And both of them show you that Scott Pilgrim is a POS
Yeah.
Because he
But
really
then again,
is.
honestly,
He was never the hero.
honestly, both Scott and Ramona suck. They
Yep.
deserve each other for
Yep.
real. It's
Yep.
everybody's around.
Although there is a version he does end up with knives in the comics, and not Ramona.
No, you're right about that. I know in the comics
Yep.
they did a thing where they tried to make it work and it didn't. But I think they did do the one-off where they did get together and how it worked out.
It was that was their what if.
Yeah. I do also know that if y'all didn't know this, in Scott Pilgrim, when Scott like defeats the evil X's or whatever, the creator of the comic, what's his name? O'Leary? I can't think now. My brain's all over the place. Anyway, he explained that when they got turned to coins, they woke up in their bed and they basically learned a lesson. So like, no, when they turned the coins, they did not die. They woke up at home with a lesson learned on how to get over stuff and be better people. I'm not kidding. That was the conclusion given for that.
That's what he said. The coins give you knowledge and not power and death. That's awesome. I have no problem with that at all. Well, I will say I love that movie. And I loved Mae Whitman in the movie. Because every time she played Roxy, Ramona's ex-girlfriend. And whenever I hear her, all I hear is Katara, and I hear Amity from the Owl House every time she opens her mouth.
When every time I think about Arrested Development, where her and Michael Cera were dating in the beginning of the series, it's like y'all just know each other, huh? Just the thing we're doing here.
Well, Mae Whitman's mother is a voice actress, so I think it's appropriate that she's in the line.
I didn't know that actually.
Yep. I'm more of a Cyclops was right comic book fan.
You know what's funny? I have never read that series. It seemed stupid to me when I looked at it, so I left it alone. I haven't
read that one either, but I bet you Groove is. Groove is a big Cyclops supporter. He also loves Captain America. I'm not Groove. Sorry, blurred up here. He is a big Cyclops lover, and he's a big Captain America supporter, and like he loves Captain America. It's the one thing we disagree about in life, because not everybody can be perfect.
He was blurred on that shit. I don't know. Cyclops. Oh,
well, he's another Sagittarius, so we can argue for hours.
Like I said, I'm not a Cyclops fan, not even a little. I don't like Cyclops.
Cyclops is interesting. He's interesting, especially with Madeline Pryor. But we're gonna leave all that alone. Leave all of that alone. It was super ambitious for its time. A lot of storylines didn't fall through, but the concept was generally very interesting. Well, that's the thing. Even the crappiest characters in the comics could have very good story runs. I have a theory that Marvel Zombies will be caused by Wanda trying to revive Pietro.
I want this to happen. You understand me?
I would love it. I would love
it. This is something for me. I hate zombie movies. I don't like zombie anything. I don't.
That's another of his flaws.
Anyway, I just find the zombie thing kind of unnecessary and ridiculous. But like, for that to happen, you think I won't pay to watch that 2 or 3
times? You need
to
read Deceased. DC did I'm talking a damn good, like by having Cyborg be the zombie carrier technically with the anti-life matter. That whole comic run is on point. You want to read a very good comic book, zombie, Deceased.
Oh my God.
Deceased.
It was really good.
And your Constantine is all over it.
You know me. I'm such a fan of Constantine. That's like one of my favorite characters in all comic history.
Well, he is all in that. So
yes.
As well as a lot of the Dark Justice Leaguers are in it.
But also, I'm a big Supernatural fan too. So like that kind of stuff is just like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Captain America somehow broke MCU time traveling rules. MCU don't have any damn time traveling rules. That's the problem. They don't have time traveling rules. They're like, I want you to go back and do this. Well, what about continuity? Look, we're gonna take a page out of the CW writers from the Arrowverse. It don't matter.
Where was Miss Menace when he broke the rules?
It does not matter. We ain't got it. Look, this is what they should have said in the interview at Endgame. Why did Captain America go back in time? Then how did he come back to the same point in time if he created a whole other timeline? Because he did. We don't have to explain shit. You know why? We got your money, and then move on, and then literally just stood up and walked right out of the damn interview.
Have you seen The Good Place?
Seen what?
The Good Place. You ever seen that show before?
Yeah. Oh, the one with Christian Bale goes in between.
So, the timeline is all Jeremy Bearimy. There you go.
Well, yeah, or even with Doctor Who, timey-wimey, but Doctor Who's full of plot holes. But my problem
Jeremy Jeremy.
is that they came at this a way of saying, we want this to happen and we don't really care what you say because you're going to pay to see this movie anyway. So we can do whatever the heck we want. And you know what? They weren't wrong, because you know why? They made a shit ton of money. And now we got all these MCU movies and all these TV shows all in the same connected universe. So they're right. They can do whatever they effing care. It doesn't matter what reviewers like me say. It doesn't matter what larger reviewers say. They're going to do what they want. They don't have to explain shit. And right now, when they give you these answers, in 5 years, it's going to change. If you ask them that question, they'll come up with a whole, well, what I was really thinking at the time, but didn't think anyone was ready to know was, no, I don't want to hear that shit. We know why you did it.
Don't like on this. Don't act like we didn't see it in real time. We were there. You can't lie to us. We weren't born.
We know what happened. You literally like, this is what we want to happen. We thought it was a cool shot in our head, and we didn't think about the plot or the continuity of how this was going to happen. We just wanted to film it, and we did. Bam, deal with it. I have a theory that the version of the MCU we have now is what happened when Wanda said no more mutants. And see, my thing is, I wanted her to say, and I said this before this show, before they even had WandaVision, I wanted Wanda to say no more magic. If you can't have mutants, but you do have Doctor Strange, and she's magic based technically. By saying no more magic, you pretty much SOL'd anybody who had a magic based ability.
Yep.
And there is a comic run that I always talk about where Doctor Strange, he's completely depowered. He jumps in one of Stark's ships. He flies out through the multiverse, going from planet to planet, timeline to timeline, trying to get people to teach him magic. And one of the places that he stops is, of course, America Chavez's, home planet, or planets from whole planet and her timeline. So the Utopia parallel. So he goes there, and her mothers are still alive at this point, and he tries to get them to teach, them marriage. They get the powers they have from Dumio, which is actually, ironically, one of Wanda's, kids growing up. And I thought that is cool, because when they announced that they had America Chavez cast in the new Doctor Strange movie, I'm like, oh hell, that's perfect. You say no more magic. Doctor Strange is sitting there, and he's like, my shit's not working. And then Wanda goes to that movie because she's in it. She's like, yeah, that was my bad. So let me help you get this back. And then they go on this quest. That would have been effing cool. That's not what they did. That is not what they did. What they did was they had Agatha be the damn main baddie and free.
It was Agatha all along. So there's a gnat in here.
Around. And like I said, I did not hate it. I just thought it was kind of a little bit of a cop out of something they could have potentially done that would have been really cool. But again, so it's a milk down version of House of M, just like when we were getting like, the son of Sue and Restore, because on the carton of the milk, we saw a little blonde boy that was missing, and I was like, oh, I bet you that's their kid. And that would be why Agatha was helping Mephisto, because she was the governess of Franklin. He was the one that spread the Mephisto shot. All of that stuff was effing cool. And I'm like, when they were in the writer's room, did they come up with all this and then say, nah, that's too much work? I'm just going to make Agatha be the villain. Peace out.
What they did? What they did was like, leave it as an Easter egg. We're not going to do anything with it. This was some for those. What are they? Those geeks that let take it and be like, oh, what's going on? We'll be like, oh, psych, we had our own story. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, even her son, even Agatha's son, we had, was it her bunny that was named after him? I believe it was. It's been a minute. Yeah. I'm like, we didn't even hear about the son. Like I said, all these Easter eggs, they had throughout all of, it was almost like they were telling fans, we know about it. These are the Easter eggs, but we're not going to do it. So here, settle for this. We want you to have these theories, because we're going to throw all of these things in the background that you're going to go crazy over, but none of it means a damn thing. Even Ames was in the damn thing, and I'm like, we have a bee catcher. Now this dude just went over to Wanda's world, and then that's what happened. I'm like, okay, cool.
Look at all this mystery.
Cool that. That's why when you look too much into MCU stuff now, I'm just like, please don't, because first of all, they'll make fun of you as a nerd. They'll be like, oh, you be all these stupid theories, you were wrong. Nah. I'm like, okay. But to be fair, you did put it in the episode, so that's still on you. I'm like,
I'm sorry, I know what actually happened.
Yep. So I'm like, all right, whatever. All right, let me move down, because I think I just 1 second, guys. We are getting close. We're over an hour, so we're gonna have to cut this short in a second. But I want to get some more questions in before we left, because that's what we do. I'm like, if I'm out of order, I'm sorry, because I think I am. But you know what? I don't think. Well, maybe not. Hashtag
Life,
justice for Quicksilver.
life
Uh,
happens.
Along with introducing the X-Men, Marvel seriously needs to make Wanda and Pietro mutants again.
Yes,
I
I agree.
I agree, and maybe with the multiverse, this new version of Wanda, they could have a new version of Wanda that is an X-Men. So when
You
they
know
introduce
what?
X-Men, it could be a different version.
That might be what this is for. Them like they want them to be mutants so bad. Fine, they can be mutants in the What If series.
Because I mean, no matter what universe it is, now Wanda is always going to be a Nexus being.
Of course.
So it's a thing.
But they're not going to admit that within what they're doing now in the live action stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of did say that she was a Nexus being in her
Nexus
show.
being, yeah, but the fact
Yeah,
that
but no, not a mutant. No, yeah, that's.
They're not doing that.
It's
They're
almost like
trying
they downplayed Pietro as Quicksilver a lot, and that a lot of people were in their feelings about that. Seeing Disney Dark would be hilarious. Yeah. Thank you, Yito, and keep Magneto as their dad. Wanda and Pietro were co-founders of the Brotherhood. After all, they were.
I fear that a little bit because remember those two dated in one version.
They weren't dating, baby. They were getting it on. And Wolverine.
I'm saying dated.
It was like
I don't like the idea. I'm trying to soften the blow what they were actually doing.
Why? No. We're gonna be somebody out there. They were bumping like rabbits. There's
gonna be someone out there that's gonna be like, why didn't we see the scene? Why we get a sex scene? They just hugged. That was all they did.
They were
keeping on Disney. You scared of life? Like, you know what? The internet. Just the internet. So like, I don't know.
Which is kind of disturbing because if you think about it, if you look at read some of the war stories, a lot of the Nazis, there are some journals where a lot of them were doing basically inbreeding because they felt they were the perfect race. And then you have a character like Magneto, who was the victim of the Holocaust, and his children are doing the same thing. Keep it in the family, keeping the genes pure. I'm like, nope. Scarlet Witch was my favorite character to use in X-Men Legends 2. When she landed a crit, her target would turn into a crate. She would always be a mutant in my eyes. I mean, yeah.
I'm not even mad at Yito for that comment because
there you go. Is there a single romantic relationship that Peter Parker has that wasn't ruined by a controversial comic story? You have come to the right girl. No. No. And he's been with so many. He tried to get with freaking. Okay, my favorite though, I tell this all the time, was Glory. So people don't know about Glory. Glory is black. She was one of his really good friends' girlfriend who lived apartment downstairs, and then eventually they all became roommates. He was hitting on her, and she whole ass was still the friend of Peter. Peter was literally trying to get on with this girl, and they were helping him with his rent. They were helping him with all kinds of stuff, and he was trying to get with her. And I'm like, I realized that this was the 70s, and you were trying to be like, yeah, interracial stuff is fine, blah, 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 blah. I'm cool. I was born in 1976. I support interracial relationships all day. I wouldn't be here. But I mean, come on. You don't hit on another man's woman, especially when that other man is your friend and trying to help you pay your rent. So, there is not one
relationship. You are
not one.
You know what, though?
Not one.
Tony Stark raised him.
No. Tony Stark didn't raise him. No,
he just fought after his boss, man. His boss like a father
he was messed up since high school. I want to hear that shit. I'm like, no, sir. Peter Parker. He likes to park it in places he shouldn't. Let's put it that way.
Peter Parker's like, I'm strong and I'm single. Let me do what I want to do.
No, and don't get me started about him and Silk. That's a whole other.
Oh man,
that's not even a relationship and that stuff.
Like rabbits. Oh my god.
Jesus my pheromones Christ. And your pheromones are attracted to. No, I need you to stop.
Like, why is that a thing? Why is that if you have the spider, like the spider power? They're like, I just got it. So
because they were supposedly bitten on the same day by the same spider, 5-6 minutes apart. And
I don't hear that.
It makes me feel like the damn spider was a narcissist. It was in love with itself, so it was attracting itself. It was like, I recognize me and you.
Every time I remember that story, like, so when Peter Parker came across himself in other universes, why didn't he want to have sex with other male Peter Parkers? What was going on?
I don't know. It does kind of blow with the whole 4-day theory, though. Because remember, Joe's like, well, the reason I thought him and MJ were bad is because I can't believe that any woman would get with somebody as nerdy as Peter. I'm like, have you been reading the Spider-Man comics? He gets all the hot bitch. I don't understand. But you know what? You do you, Booze. I remember that game. Wanda and Magneto were two of my go-to characters. I don't think I played that one. Peter Parker and Silk was an awful yellow fever romantic relationship. They didn't even have a relationship. They were just trying to.
They were just
clothes
okay.
off all
Let's
that
keep
time.
it real. Relationship, my ass. They were just fucking. That's
Yep.
all that was. The whole thing was a Tinder hookup. It was a Tinder hookup.
If you don't know about Cindy Moon, if you don't know about Silk, I have done a spotlight video. It is also on my channel, and I do talk a little bit about this. And it is disturbing as hell. It is not. That was not a relationship. That I can't even constitute that as a hookup. I don't know what that was. It was just weird.
I wouldn't. It's funny. I won't even call it disgusting. I mean, two spiders having sex. It is what it is. Whatever. I don't know. Then
Magneto's magnetic bombs were so OP. I might need to see this game. I play Marvel Puzzle Quest. I've been playing that for like 5 years or 6 years, but yeah, I don't think
honestly, I haven't played a new game in forever. When's the last game I actually played? Damn. No, I remember it was Final Fantasy Tactics. I was playing in my PSP because I was feeling nostalgic, and that was like months ago.
You know, I will stay on the stream if you guys decide to discuss that. LOL. Are you leaving the stream? What the hell?
No, he's still here.
I thought Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 did the best to portray Civil War. The problem is the game is super expensive now due to being out of print.
Yeah.
I think the institution of Captain America is antiquated and naive. I think having a golden white boy character be like the best character of the Marvel universe antiquated?
Oh, blonde haired and blue eyed and
what?
staring at the sun with his chest
which
out?
Is kind of like the Aryan race. What? Not saying if you're blonde with blue eyes that you represent a Nazi dream. I'm not trying to say that, but in the comic world, in the comic book world, that was the flavor of the hour. So I mean, it's just what it was.
Oh, what was it? The Third Reich? Hail Hydra.
Oh my god. I hate to say it, but I like Captain America less than I do Batman. So you guys are telling me I need to do a comic book trash stream. You guys are telling me this.
Oh, I am down for that.
Oh my gosh.
I am so down for that.
We need to have
to talk
stream.
shit about kids that don't
shit
like
about comics. Okay, I see.
Man.
We'll do a couple.
Set that date, Maria. Set that date. We're going to do that.
Date. We're already going to have a stream about Crisis. We're actually going to, me and Joe are getting together, and we're going to make an outline of all the things that Crisis on Infinite Earth has effed up in the Arrowverse, and we're going to do a stream about it. And so that is in the works currently, but I have no problem coming up with a stream where we just talk shit about problematic. We can do it. It could be a monthly thing. I might even make that also. We'll do a trial on here. I might even finally do a membership and make a membership monthly. How did this plot go so damn wrong? Go. And that'll be a stream that we do.
See, look, I'm seeing some of these comments down here. They bring on the trash. Kevin Jones, they bring on the trash. Yes. And Batman.
Oh, you don't want me to talk about Batman or Barry Allen. I am not.
Which Batman? Because
this is true. Well, no, okay. Bruce Wayne is my problematic Batman. But I don't. And see, this is the thing, I don't hate Batman. I just have questions.
I don't hate Batman. I just have a question of why'd you never have a Black Robin? You like taking out people in the hood. That's my issue. I don't understand. There's a lot of blackies out there with
Mercenary said Bats is off limits, then you may want to miss that stream. I'm just saying, because if you know me and this channel, nothing is off limits.
Look, one more time. I shark repellent. I don't.
I love that.
Oh, Adam West.
I love that movie. No, what got me was the fact that this great white was hanging off of Batman's leg, and Robin had time to climb down the ladder. I'm like, that's not how sharks works. I saw how that works in real life. Sharks will just chomp it and go. They don't hang off you. It's like it really wasn't even on his leg. It was just gracefully hanging off the fabric. And his teeth were caught because his legs should have been already ripped off. So, but we had to suspend. Adam West is a great guy. A friend of mine had a really nice conversation with him at a convention. He seems really cool. I just thought his entire Batman series, other than giving us Eartha Kitt and some very good actors, was funny as shit, and I never took it seriously. So, because that man, there's no way he had all the stuff in that bat belt that he had. No. There's just no way. There's no way. Bat
That
laxatives, like
bat sun
I
stopper.
can't take a shit, Batman. Well, don't worry.
There
I
you go.
got some bat
Bat breath mints.
No.
Bat thumbtacks. Like, what the hell is going on here, man? Bat water balloons. Like, why do you have all this?
Peter's not that much of a narcissist. No, Peter's not a narcissist. No. He has what I call bad nerd boy syndrome. And what that means is he's a nerd. There's nothing wrong with being with a nerd, but he was treated as a stereotypical nerd because in the time he was created, if you were nerdy, you weren't jockey or you weren't clean cut or you weren't built, they made fun of you. And that's what he was. And then he got bit and then he developed very quickly. Kind of like how we saw with Tobey Maguire's version. He got ripped really quickly. And in some cases, some people stay humble, but Peter, he got a little confidence, and when women started checking out his abs, his all that stuff, he was like,
He was walking around the town with his
like,
black slick down hair and his black outfit.
Seriously, well, nope. We don't talk about that group. We don't talk about that group.
Hold on, what was it?
Look, Latina already broke me earlier with that CW writer comment. I'm gonna need you to F and stop. But no, I'm telling you, Peter has this whole I can attract them, therefore I am, and therefore I will screw. That's literally what it is. Basically, he is 7-Eleven with the hot women. That's
actually no, but like I get that though, because I remember when I was in high school, I've been training in like martial arts stuff and all the other good stuff for so long in my life, and I was training rigorously all throughout high school. When I turned 18 years old, I started to stop taking part of the weights on my body and stuff and carrying a whole backpack full of things and like wearing clothes that fit. Like, I'm getting attention. And your brain switches like, oh, wow. Oh, I'm attractive.
I'm just adorable, so people love me anyway, so it's fine. I ain't gotta do all that.
I'm adorable. I'm adorable?
I'm adorable. Peter Parker isn't the issue.
You were talking nice about me, Maria. Oh,
you're. Peter Parker isn't the issue. Writers trying to live vicariously through Peter Parker is the issue. Well said.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's so true.
Said that is probably the best explanation of why.
That's
what it is.
That is well said.
I mean, I read somewhere that Twilight movie that didn't the writer just live vicariously through the main character?
Yeah, that was it.
So I mean, that's literally what happened.
Mary Sue thing, and don't Mary Sue your characters because no one appreciates a Mary Sue outside of those who have no imagination. But
and guys, don't come at me for this Twilight stuff if you like Twilight fans. But if the man says that he can't stop thinking about eating you and not in the way you want him to, and he's got glitter all over himself, run away. Run, girl, run. Take the Barry Allen, line and run, girl, run. That's not normal.
Fast. Oh my! I can't. To this day, I can't finish Twilight at all. I've seen movies and parts. I'm just like, what the hell am I? This is garbage.
Well, besides the main girl looking like she's having a seizure, I don't understand the attraction. But you know what? It's fine. Whatever. People like what they like, I guess.
everybody has the same 2-3 faces. Just looking like, or like what is that? Like, this movie is
it's called creative acting.
People paid to watch this? How old were they? Oh yeah, 16 and 15 years old. It makes sense.
Oh no, there were a lot of women in their 30s in that movie. There were a lot of housewives that were lonely and bored.
That's so upsetting.
Batman makes so many other heroes look bad so he can look good. Mira beat the Justice League, including Superman and Wonder Woman. Batman saves the day with a sonic device? ? Yeah, see, Linda from Lucifer is my go-to therapist. And I have assigned characters that need to go sit on her couch, and Bruce Wayne is one of them. Let's put it that way. He needs to go.
Are you ready for season 6?
I've already done my trailer reaction for that. Of course, I'm waiting for season. Oh, man.
Oh, man, is all over the place.
I'm so excited about. I guess you're gonna have to jump on my Lucifer stream when I review the entire series because I am super excited.
Man. It's fun too because Jam introduced me to it, and I was like, I guess because she was like, well, you watch other stuff, so you might try Lucifer, and then you kind of because I was also binging Supernatural all the way to the end, and she didn't seem like, well, was this about a couple years ago. And she's like, you might like this too. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm sitting down and watching. I'm like, first episode went through. I was like, kind of like this. And then she's behind. I'm caught up. I'm like, look now.
Because whenever she puts you on to something, you watch it in the one day, and she has to do this thing called sleeping. So that's why.
Well, you know what? Stop making shows be so much fun to watch. I don't know.
I mean, look, I'm not mad at you. I've done the same damn thing. I literally am late to The Mandalorian because of work. You know, my work was really stressful. I never had a chance when it was airing or coming out for me to watch it. I watched all of season 1 and season 2. Me and River were like, back. I'm like, oh, let's go. I was like, yes. Now I'm like, where the hell is season 3? I'm like, what is happening here? But yeah, it's all good. Let's see. We are jumping. Technically, Lucifer is still comic related, so
actually he is. Yeah, that's the same Lucifer as in Constantine. They made that in the CW with their bad writing asses. They gave us one good thing about that entire crisis issue. Like, let's cameo Lucifer. You know, Tom Ellis. Let's get Tom to do Lucifer, and then it's gonna be awesome. Stop it, Yito. Stop it. Stop it right now.
So I just got the second comment that needs to go on the community tab. I'm like, I just got to snip it.
Stop that right now. Stop saying some things. Jesus Christ. Oh, no, we're not canonizing that. Not even head canon. That belongs to you.
Thing is, I know you're not serious, but I can literally just picture a straight face. I don't even know what you look like, and I can picture a straight face saying this, throwing me off. But you know what? You're not wrong. He's not wrong. If they really wanted to like win against like Thanos, all they had to do was have Peter Parker do that dance. Look, you got too much rhythm when you do it. You got to do it slow.
Oh, you're right.
Like he's in Happy Days.
Monday, Tuesday,
and the women and stuff, they're walking by, they're like,
and I love that about that though. That was the realest thing about that. The woman is looking at us like oh.
I was waiting for a preacher to come up with a cross. Do you believe in Jesus as your Lord and Savior? I'm like, and you have to understand, I saw that shit in the theaters.
I'm so sorry.
So like all of you that probably did see it in the theaters, it was the only thing that was on my mind. After I couldn't watch anything else. The rest of the movie went by in a blur. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? I can't handle this emotionally.
But you know what,
this
though?
didn't make you cool.
I can't hold you on that because I watched X-Men 3 in theaters, and I'm sorry. Regret that to this day.
I'm so sorry.
That was a terrible idea.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know Peter was that good of a dancer, and you still don't.
Okay, look, what I'm doing is I'm impersonating Peter, but like I'm not as emo, I guess. Like not emo. I don't know what emo means now, but emo back then, I guess.
You froze again, Groovy.
Yes.
I hope you come back in time to talk about, and let's not even
50 Shades of Grey.
Now, 50 Shades, if you don't know, 50 Shades of Grey is like some S&M bondage type movie, which basically started off as a Twilight fanfic, and apparently she modified it to make money into this bondage fest. I've never watched it. I have no desire to watch it. I don't care about people's sex lives. I don't care about tying you up, spanking you, I don't know, beating you with a wet noodle. I don't care what you do in your bedroom.
50 Shades is light BDSM for moms whose husbands don't kiss them on the cheek when they leave for work. That's what that's about.
This is what I've learned personally, and I really hope I don't offend people. This is my personal take. If I'm getting it at home, I don't need to watch it on your screen.
Thank you. Well, hold on, because there's pornography.
That's different. You know, that's motivation.
Actually, that's funny. It is different. 50 Shades is not pornography. 50 Shades is what pornography is if you like water it down. No, don't. 50 Shades.
No, sir. Maria and Jack, I can assure you that you're both adorable, also being slightly less adorable than me. Slightly. I'll take it. I will say, Latina, I need you to drop your real age down there because, you know, this is 40 gold, almost 45 gold this year. So at 45, if you're in your 40s, maybe a little older than me,
yeah,
I'm like, yes. But you know what? When you look this good at almost 45, then you can be a little slightly more adorable.
We have a 10-year age difference. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be 35 this year. Holy shit.
And we're almost exactly 10 years because my birthday is the 8th and yours I think is the 7th, right?
7th, yeah.
Yep.
Damn, I forgot about
the day
that.
after.
Wow.
We're almost exactly. You're 86, I'm 76, 10 years apart.
Weird.
It's how life works, man. That's how it works. Look, I just gave my age. And a lot of people don't do that. You know what? I'm proud of it. I made it this long.
I'm 35 and drinking like a fish. I work out
yeah,
daily.
His liver's not alive anymore. It could actually have its own comic book.
Good, actually, yeah. But I work out on a daily basis. I do still drink water and fruit juices, but I also drink because I'm a millennial. That's what happens.
Apparently, God and Lucifer had a Jerry Springer therapy session or something. I know that God and Lucifer had one on Linda's couch.
No, honestly, they had one on Linda's couch, and they also had one Supernatural. So yeah, they in both shows. Like that's weird. Holy shit! Yeah,
that is very weird. Yeah. Saying that Emo Peter is a gift to the world. I mean, you're really trying to mess with me. Bye, Chris. I saw you responded. I did actually sent you a message. So if you send a follow-up, I'll look for that later because we are about to cut the show. We're 25 minutes over, Groove. We were having too much fun.
We weren't planning on going this long.
We were not. Kevin 41 and becoming 42 this year. Welcome to the 40s club. I kept the seats warm for you. You're 36, so I am slightly more adorable than you because I've been alive slightly longer. But you will get there. Something to aim to. Maria has the time stone somewhere. Yes.
Probably.
I do.
There's a high chance of that, honestly.
It's my running joke is the stress in my life keeps me extremely young looking. And then when all of my stress is and all the crap in my life is sorted out, I will turn into a kung fu hero. I will have long silver flowing hair. I'm going to have a long mustache. Don't ask. Don't question it. I'm going to literally leap through the trees. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to look amazing. So just saying, throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. All right. All right, guys, this is our last question from Job George. I love that name, Job. That even tells me you have a job or your name is Job. Either way, it's cool. I hope they introduce Wanda's real mother as the Scarlet Witch, and we find out that her mother's death was the reason why her powers were dying in her childhood. Huh.
Actually, that'd be neat. I don't really know if they even went that into the comments to put that into the story in the first place.
I want them to mess up her world and find out she's adopted. I'm just saying. Maria, I know you're a Wushu fan, but is Jett a Wushu fan? Of course. You cannot love martial arts and not love the classics. You are not fighting until you are fighting 100 feet in the air above some trees.
Everybody loves wire fu.
Yep. Look, that's how we know about all our favorite kung fu styles, like the praying mantis.
All right.
My heart. But yeah, we definitely did have like a kind of like
gone over.
Yeah, we probably should pick some movies. Like one of my favorite ever movies that I guess can be considered in that genre is the whole Wind and Storm thing. So Storm Riders, Wind and Cloud. So Storm Riders is a very, very good movie. It's older. It has Aaron Kwok and Ekin Chen, and I love it. So really good. But all right, guys, thank you for joining us on our adventure in this stream. Thank you for asking great questions, being hilarious, breaking me a little inside. You guys have been great. Overall, though, episode 1 of What If was absolutely on point. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I wish it was actually the Captain America story. Yep. I really am looking for episode 2. So we will try and do a weekly What If series. I'll try and get Groove on here to do a weekly What If series when he's not out partying on Sunday.
Okay, first and foremost, I'm not out partying. I just work a lot. I have a job that makes me do stuff that I want to do, like work.
I know. I don't get it though. I mean, according to the Arrowverse, you don't have to do that. You can be able to pay your bills and stuff without having gas. I don't get that at all.
Speaking of which, I saw your comment about me like, I'm telling you, what's going on with John? I mean, Jett. I read that, by the way.
It's all love. But yeah, if this is day for you guys, have a very good day. If it is evening for you, have a very good evening. Again, put your comments, questions, theories, if you liked the episode, if you didn't, or any of the BS we talked about after that. I would go back and find a time code of when we went off the rails, but I'm tired, so I'm not gonna do that.
And then of course you can always check me out on my channel. I don't update as much as I should because like I do consultant work, so I'm always kind of busy in life. But you can
It
also
is
go to my
linked in the
channel
description below.
Yes, down description below.
I got
do
a description.
martial arts type stuff and philosophy things. So
Yep.
hey.
Hey. All right, guys. I will see you in the next stream. And again, I'll try and drag Groove kicking and screaming so we can try and do a what if weekly review for you guys, because obviously we have so much fun. And that'll be our trash comic talk hour as well. Until we decide to do an official one. So
I'm excited for that. That's the one. That's the one. That's why we might even get Jam and River to be on this one. Just talk about comic book characters like, oh, why? No, we'll do comics and manga because I got a lot to say about some manga characters.
Trash manga hour.
Oh my God.
They know that might be a thing. I'll just have my angry grandma on the side as a symbol. All right, guys, have a good Sunday or Monday. Bye, guys.
Later.